Hey YouTubers, how is it going? Thank you for tuning in to another Guild Wars 2 video. This will be part 5 of the beginner series, and now I think this might be the last video, but you never know. Maybe there will be a recap of some of the things, a little bit more detail of the basics. But hopefully by now you've been playing a little bit, you've learned how weapons work, you've played with the trading post, you've bought some stuff, maybe got some stuff from the gem store. Or not, because the gem store stuff usually comes a little bit later. Hopefully you figured out how to save your money a little bit or sell some things, all those stuff that we've covered so far. So now you might even be at level 80. So let's assume that you are finally at level 80. What do you do now? Well, there are tons of things to do, and that's what I want to go over. I have detailed and brought up some of my favorite YouTubers. There are a lot of YouTubers. There are I'm going to cover some of the most common ones, and some of them not as common, I think, or popular, I should say, but that I really like a lot. So, without further ado, I'm going to alt tab out of here, and I have a bunch of links up over here, and I'm going to put these links on the description of this video. So by Karaoke, I hit level 80. Now what? This is a very good, I mean, some of these are not real new, but like this is a year old, a little bit more than a year old. But in general, this YouTuber is great, but this is a great video for, now I hit level 80, now what? And let's go to the next one. Gaming with GS, he has a level 80 and beyond guide. What to do and goes to have. Just looking over here at the advertised videos, there's even more, so there's a lot of videos out there. There's nothing that you can't find, so if you don't know something, just search for it. Okay, Mega also has some PvE guides, how to have fun as a new player. I hit level 80 now out, which I just told you that. Beginner's Guide to Fractals. So remember when I talked about fractals a little bit? This will get you started. When you're getting into crafting, remember I mentioned that there is the site guildw2crafts.net. The fast guides to get to level 400 is decent. Go ahead and use this site, but you don't want to use this. You want to kind of discover and look at these. There's actually a couple more tricks that I know that's not in this video, but once you do this, once you level to 500 once, it doesn't matter. You're not going to level again unless you do something silly like delete the character that you leveled it up on in the crafting. Guide to the Silver Waste, very good common level 80 area. It may not be as popular now, because of the new areas, level 80 areas. Here is another Karaoke link. These are, I wanted to show you the dungeon guides. I don't think he had them in a playlist, so I just brought this up. But these are short videos, fairly short, and they are very good. Guide to dungeon, like find a build, the introduction, consumables, runes and sigils, how to use the LFG tool to find your dungeons, which I went over just a little bit. Here's something about the story mode, which I talked about. Etiquette, very important. If you watch just one of these, probably watch this etiquette one. Very important. Okay, I didn't go over getting into a guild very much, but that's okay. All right, so this is his channel in general. So I've gotten past general, a couple of things that I wanted to focus out. Level and beyond videos. Now, these are the YouTubers in general. I guess I don't have to all tab back to this because I'm just kind of going through it. YouTubers in general. Well, you have the Mega Guide. I really like his guides and information. You have Wood Potatoes, probably the most popular, 108,000 subscribers. He covers a lot of lore. He has some how-to stuff, but matter of fact, it's mostly information and lore now. And like if a patch comes out, he kind of goes over the patches. So that's stuff that I don't really do and probably won't do, is go over patches and stuff. But there are people that do that. What's new, what's cool. Next one, Sam, however you say that. he does a lot of trading post videos, which seeing some more than Guild Wars 2, and I haven't looked at his global thing yet. But it looks like he has trading post guides. There's not very many playlists, but he goes over to trading post. So if you want to get more into the trading post, check out some of his videos and search for trading post, or just kind of look through them. Like, this is how to make money with skins. May not be called very good names to understand what they are sometimes. Okay, Gaming with GS. I already talked about his channel a little bit, showing you some of his videos. He does some other channels too. Feel free to check him out. But his main channel that we're interested at talking about are his Guild Wars channels. Guild Wars 2 videos, rather. And he has a lot of go tip guides. And it's really cool stuff. I'm not, new maps to come. This is how you get some of one of the new skins, for example. Patch and giveaway. So these are good videos. Easy go trick. Might go a little bit. He goes a little bit long on the videos, but I think I like that. I tend to go long on my videos too. I found that videos that are straight to the point and bam bam, that's good for veteran players. But for people that are not veteran players, I think the longer videos give them a better chance to understand the material. At any rate, Mikey the Mighty, very good stuff. He goes over patch notes, has some how-to stuff. Like this video, he covered the fractal infusion changes, which you may not know what it is yet, but that's cool. How to make gold, he has some of those videos. Here's another guide on silver waste. So, what I do, for example, I watch his silver waste videos. I go over and watch Karaoke silver waste videos, because not everybody covers the exact same thing. There's some common overlap, but you always learn. Just read, just listen, get crazy with it. All right, Nike, he has very good build videos. When you get better, or when you get to be when you get past all the basics and have a level or two under your belt and start doing a lot of dungeons or fractals or something, that's what Nike covers. How to get good. It talks about the meta, what's popular. It compares a couple of sigils that are real popular, which are better. And, DPS benchmark, PS Warrior, that's a common warrior build. Paladin Strength. He doesn't cover gold videos, but people ask him how he has so much gold, so he just kind of done that video. So his are like veteran kind of guides. And some raid guides, and if you go back a little bit, there's a lot of guides for build guides for raids, build guides for dungeons. So if you have your favorite race so far, just maybe look at some of these guides to have the best build and know what gear to get exactly. Inks, one of my other favorite channels. He covers I haven't seen some of his videos come across my feed very often too much, but just good stuff. Go through his, and that's it. So those are what I would recommend for other YouTubers, and go over their information, because there is a ton of it out there already. With that, I might just blab about a couple of things about being level 80 myself. So let's open up the map and let's zoom out. So after you're level 80, so at that point in time, one of the first things that you might do is go through all of the dungeons, at least the story mode, and maybe an explorer mode of one, or go spend a while doing them. Go to all the dungeons, work toward world completion, uncover all. Actually, not every single area you see is required for world completion, but all of the main areas that was a part of the core game when it launched, which is probably like this bunch right here. It'll take a while. You might get bored of doing it, but just do a little bit now and then. Work toward that world completion, because at some point you'll need the gift of exploration if you want to make a legendary weapon, which is the quote best skins of the game, most expensive weapons of the game. Also, on that note, the ascended weapons, let's just take a look. I have ascended armor in my inventory anyway. So see those stats, 381 up there at the top, 141 power. So those are the same stats as a legendary which if we do legendary weapons, all varieties do legendary weapons. See how expensive they are? Sunrise. Where'd you go? Right there. 3,300. You know, that's the weapon that I have. But it's the same stats as an ascended weapon, which is much way cheaper to do. Got off on a little tangent. Now I forgot what I was doing. Oh, that you need to give up exploration to make those weapons. You don't have to make those weapons. If you want the best stats in the game, just get Ascended. If you want the fancy coolness of the legendary weapon and how it looks and impress people and have a goal that you want to accomplish, then go for the legendary. So world completion, that's one thing you can do. All the dungeons, work toward all the dungeons. Then when you get tired of, mix it up. Don't do all the dungeons and wait till you get all the dungeons done until you go to the next thing. Mix it up. Just do a little bit of world completion today. Tomorrow do a couple dungeons. The next day maybe after you have all exotic gear at least, do a couple of the basic fractals. There are obviously level 80 areas. This is not one, but up in these areas, here's a level 80 dungeon up here. Okay, now for even the better part, you have all these level 80 areas. These came from the Living Story. So you have the Silver Waste, very profitable area to make money, and all these areas have their own meta, and they have all kinds of achievements that you can do. You have Dry Top, Tangled Depths. These are all the Heart of Thorns stuff. I don't have a lot uncovered with my warrior, but over here, Verdict Brink, Bloodstone Fen. That's one of the new areas, and it has it's a small area, and down here is the new area, the newest area as of this time, Ember Bay. And each of those areas have their own achievements. So if you don't know what to do one day, maybe just open up your achievement panel. Look here, achievements, nearly completed, and just take a look at those. I'm almost done with that one. Let's see what it is, and just go ahead and finish it up. You could do it that way, and do the other game modes when you're level 80. Go to PvP. As a recap, you do not have to be level 80 to do PvP. You don't even have to be anything. You just be a level 2 after you get out that first mission, like I covered in the Beginner Series video 1. And you play PvP, get good at it, look up the builds. Some people just play PvP and that's it, nothing else, and that's fine. Get a little tired of that, go play some World vs. World like I covered in the other game. Look up those guides and those videos I just showed you, those other YouTubers, or just search general YouTube, World vs. World guide. You can go on money making sprees. You can do the world boss train. That's where the major bosses of the game, the dragons, along a couple other foes, and then you get a bit of loot, and there's a timer. Let me show you the timer real quick. I believe it's gw2timer.com. So this is a really cool site, and I'm not sure why it's goofed up, but here's what you want to do. In 2 minutes, this thing is going to go on, and then in 2 minutes, this thing is going on, and so this is a world boss. So take a look at this site. It has more than just a timer. Not all of these are actual bosses. The special bosses, it's not what we want either. But do a search on YouTube for world bosses, and you'll find a group. A lot of times there's a group that's going. There it goes. Fixed it. And but that's a good site. So world bosses, you can work toward getting your Ascended gear. So exotics are pretty cheap to have, a whole exotic set. So if you go to chest and you go to exotic, you see that they can get a little bit expensive. Don't just buy these expensive ones. Always compare your prices, like I've kind of showed you in the other video. Some people just put these prices on there and sell them because people think they're the best, but they're just ripping people off. And you can craft them. So get into crafting. That's another thing that you can do. And you can start that even before you get to level 80.
Subscribe the event Bloodstone Devourer and we'll start.
You can become a trading post money making machine. Start flipping the trading post a little bit. Just have a goal. If you have a goal, you always have something to do in the game. If you don't have a goal, just do something else. Like I said, you can just look at your achievements and see what needs to be done. Or if you want to help people, say you want to help people out, just go to one of the new areas, do some map chat, ask if anybody needs help. Odds are they just need basic help, and you know the basic things at that point, and just help them out. Become friends, get into a guild. You know, if you want to get to a guild, there's websites to get into a guild. There's map chat. You can say any guild's recruiting, and find a guild that you like. Kind of know what you want in a guild. If you don't like PvP, don't get into a guild that requires or wants to do PvP all the time. So kind of be picky about what guild that you're in. And you probably would have gotten requests, a lot of requests at this point already to be in a guild. But start being picky about what guild that you're in. Oh, be quiet there. So that's really a lot of stuff in a nutshell. A lot of stuff to do. You will never run out of things to do. And if you start getting burnt out, just do something different or take a break. But don't just sit there and grind forever on the same thing, unless you want to, I guess, unless it's not burning you out. And jumping puzzles, that's another thing. There's a bunch of jumping puzzles. If you go to achievements and somewhere jumping puzzles, it's probably general. Jumping puzzles. Go through and do a bunch of jumping puzzles. I've done them all. Some of them are fairly easy, some of them are pretty hard. But tackle one of those a week, or now and then a couple a day, whatever you want to do. This is a world boss. They have achievements that you can do for that. Triple Trouble is a pretty hard world boss, and it takes special circumstances to kind of get this one done. And I mean, as you can see, I haven't really cared or concentrated on that one. Tequatl, there's a world boss that has, so work toward that. Bosses here are more achievement, there's just all kinds of stuff. Here's PvP achievements. There's little mini games. Try those now and then. Belcher's Bluff. There's some Fractals of the Mist. A lot of achievements there. And that's it. That's it, really. That's just a big old summary of there's just tons of things to do. And with that, I'm going to close out. If you have any questions, have any thoughts, something poked an interest to you, want me to go into a little more detail, by all means ask. I'm happy to answer. I'm happy to talk in-game, talk on YouTube. My info in-game is Nuno.9735. I'm always happy to chat, help you with a dungeon, if time allows, help you with anything. It's just fun, and that's one of the things that I do to keep it interesting and fun and not get too bored. Great. You guys take care. Give a thumbs up, give a thumbs down, make a comment, whatever you like. You guys take care.